it's Sheri here. I didn't want to be making this video because like it sucks when this shit happens to you, but I thought if I like tell people my experience and then what I think you should do when, you know, when God forbid this happens to you, and it really fucking sucks. So like if you read the title, you know what I'm talking about. Someone has used my credit card information and essentially used it to buy $2,000 worth of REEBOK stuff from the online store, which was like the weirdest fucking thing. Of all the things you used $2,000 for, you spent it on REEBOK, on sportswear. But anyway, essentially, it's hard like for me to talk about this because this happened like very recently, and I still feel the same way I feel when I found out. I feel like shit. I feel like shit, and I feel like almost violated in a way because they're like, they took my fucking card. It's my fucking information. It's a credit card, so it's not my money, but like it's not their money. And so, but I'm just gonna go through like how I found out and the steps I took afterwards. The whole situation isn't completely dealt with. I'll tell you what I mean. But basically, so my account is under my mother's account in China. It's a Chinese bank, and so it's under her account. And so she gets like text messages every time I use the card, which is like fine. And so she got like this message at 12. For her it was AM, for me it was PM. There's a 12-hour time difference. And so she's like, oh shit, like, Sheri's using money. And then there were like multiple after that. And so finally she called me, and this was like around 1 AM, PM-ish. And she was just like, yo, what are you doing right now? And I'm like at fucking home. I haven't gone online shopping in so fucking long. And I go buy groceries once a week and get like bubble tea. That's my expenses. So I'm like, I'm not buying anything. I haven't bought anything worth like, they were doing it in multiple sets, so that it was like $100 to $200-ish at a time. And I'm like, I haven't bought anything worth $200 in so fucking long. And so I was like, Mom, I need you to log on to your account and then check like where the money's going to, because I wasn't sure like, oh, is it going to like, it's the school charging me money, like taking money from my account? I don't know what's happening. And so she was like, so she went on that and she's like, it's from like a REEBOK online store. And I'm like, oh fuck, I did not buy anything from there. Go call the bank right now and tell them to freeze the card. And I was like, I gotta do that shit fast, because they were still spending the money as we were calling and trying to sort out the situation. So she called the bank and she was like, I need you to like speed this up. Like someone is like stealing money from the account, like from the credit card. And the bank teller is like, oh shit, okay. I need you to give me this information, blah 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 blah. Okay, we froze the account. And we're like, okay, so what can we do? And she's like, well, after you frozen the account, we're gonna go like so these are like the 7 payments that they used on your card, and you're sure none of these are your child? And she's like, yeah, we're on the call right now, like she's not spending this money. And so the lady was like, okay, we're gonna follow up on that, we're gonna do an investigation, and we'll get back to you in 2 to 3 business days. And sort of that's where the situation is at now. And so they're investigating and trying to figure out you know, get the money, because we didn't spend it, and figure out, I don't know if they're going to figure out who did this. I would like to know. I can punch them in the face, but I don't know if they'll find out who did this. But they're investigating, and I was like, okay, I should probably report this to the police, because it's a large fucking sum of money. It's such a large amount of money. I have not, like, it's my fucking credit card, and I have not spent that much money on that card before. And I'm just like, holy fuck, what the fuck? I'm sorry, like, kids watching this, turn this off. This is not for you, or this is for you. Okay, your parents. Okay, no, I'm sorry. But basically, I was like, okay, I should go to the cops about this. And I had to look up like where to report this crime, because I wasn't sure. Because the thing is, I only know, like, us Americans, I swear, we're only taught to call 911. Like, anything happens, call 911. But I'm like, this is not an emergency, if you know what I mean. Because it's an emergency, like, I'm like fucking panicking and freaking out, but also trying to like figure things out. But it's not like life or death, and I don't want to be that person that like calls 911 for every small possible thing. So I was like looking up online, like, what do you do? So they said, like, go to your local police station and file a report. So I'm like, okay. So I brought the card with me, because I still had the card. Yeah, it was still in my possession. I brought the card with me. I brought like my ID, and I'm like, that's about it. I also brought my computer just in case, like, they were gonna go look through my computer to make sure I didn't spend the money. I'm just like, I've never been on Reebok. But no, I didn't need my computer. I still bought it. I didn't need it. And I went to the nearest police place, which is like the NYPD headquarters, I think. And then I got there and they were like, oh yeah, you can't file a report here. You need to go to your local precinct, which I don't even know what that meant at the time, but I guess it's like the local police that's in charge for every area, and then you need to go to the specific one for your area, like of wherever the crime happened, I think. So like, since I found out at my home, they were treating it like the crime happened at my home, I guess. So the person in the headquarters, like, you need to go to this precinct. So I went to that precinct. It was like fucking raining. It took 20 minutes, maybe more, to go from the headquarters to the precinct. And then they were like, oh yeah, so the first thing they ask you, there's a police officer at the front of the precinct place, and they're like, oh yeah, so I said, I'm here to file a report, someone used my credit card. And they're like, okay, where do you live? And I said, I live redacted. I live here. And they're like, oh yeah, this isn't your precinct. I'm like, but the guy, he's like, yeah, no, don't listen to that guy. You need to go to the other one. And that was about like 10-ish to 20-minute walk, and I'm like, okay. So I ended up walking to the other precinct, and then I got there, and it was a whole thing of like, if I got the wrong one again. But no, it was the right one. I got there, and I'm like, I need to file this report, and they're like, okay, you need to go inside, and you need to talk to a detective, because basically I think they're trying to see if there's like a link between cases and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And so this really nice detective person came over and asked me about the details. I had to fill out a form of like basically my information, what got stolen, which is like my credit card info, I guess, and then like how much money, the exact time that I found out and it was happening. And I gave her like the screenshots of my mom's text messages that she got from the bank, as well as like the bank statements of where the money went. And so I gave all that information to them, and like, yeah, that was about it. And I'm still like waiting for something. I'm not sure, again, I'm not sure if I'll ever find out like who did it and how they got my info. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But now that this is like on record, so if the bank ever needs this information, I'm just like, I filed a police report about it. Like, this is not me making shit up. This is me filing a police report because someone stole my shit. And yeah, I'm sure there are like different case scenarios, because this was a Chinese bank, so maybe they do things differently than American banks. I heard like online that some people say you need like a credit report or stuff like that, but like to make sure they haven't stolen your identity. And I'm still like on the fence of like, do I need to do that? Should I do that? Should I like get a credit report? Because I don't have other credit cards besides this one, so I don't think there should be that big of an issue of it. But it's like fucking scary to know that like someone has your information out there like that. Like, it's horrifying. And the thing is, I don't know how to fix the situation. Like you know, like when you lose something, you're like, oh fuck, I should be more careful. I should, like, if I lose my wallet, I'd be like, fuck me, I'm like an idiot. I shouldn't lose my wallet. I should keep an eye on my wallet. I should watch my wallet more. I swear to God, after this, I'm probably gonna lose my wallet now because I'm raising so many flags. But no, it's just like, I should watch the wallet. But when someone just like takes information and you don't know where they got the information, that you don't know how they got the information, you don't know why they got the information, and you're just like, fuck me, right? Oh, this is more of a rant to just like calm my ass down, because like I still feel like shit about this, and I don't know how to feel better, because again, I don't know if this will ever get resolved in any way. Like, hopefully the bank, they refunded everything, and they said that they probably will after the investigation, but again, they're still investigating. I'm supposed to like hear back again from probably 2 days from the detectives, and I'm just like, I don't know how to feel in this meantime. I don't feel safe. I feel fucking vulnerable, and I don't know if I like should or I need to, but I do, and it's but yeah, it's fucking horrible, honestly, and I hope like it does not happen to anyone out there ever. But if it does, like, I feel like that's the steps you need to take. Like, first you gotta like calm down when you and if you find out someone's like using your money and it's not you, immediately call the bank, be like, yo, freeze my card, shut it down, get them to send you a new card, because like that, don't use that card anymore, because even if they find like this one person who used the card, your information could be out there and there could be others, so just get a new card and then go file a police report so it's on record. Some banks might need you to file a police report, at least that's what the officer at the police department was telling me. So if it needs that, like, go, maybe if you can, go right away, and that's just so you have like the details, the information and everything, and then like you just need when you found out, how much money was taken from you, and like where the money might went. If it shows up on your bank statement, like usually it will say like to whatever place the money went to. So yeah, that's like all the tips I really have. If anyone has any tips of like how to protect yourself from this, please tell me in the comments below. Any like success stories about like these investigations, please let me know too, so I can like feel slightly better for myself, because I honestly still feel like shit. But yeah, thanks for watching this, guys. I hope things get resolved too, and I hope like when I make my next video, I'll be in a better mood, I'll be happier, and I'll have something else to talk about too. So hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye.